welcome. I am excited to review this fan film here and excited about it being Obi-Wan Kenobi. Maybe this will be a refresher from what we've seen with Disney.
It might be. This one's the Jamie Costa one. And if
Okay.
anybody knows anything about Jamie Costa, just as far as I can tell, he is like developing a nice filmmaking career, acting career, but with fan films, oddly enough, with Star Wars fan films and maybe some other stuff. This guy is a rising little talent, I would say. He's definitely won a lot of fans over to him. He started out with like a Han Solo fan film. Freaking excellent. I love that little one. It's like, dude, like it felt like a mix of Indiana Jones and Han Solo in that character. And it's like, they're both Harrison Ford. That's like excellent.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, as we say, as the saying is, this is where the fun begins. So let's do this.
Yes, let's do this. Yeah, it has 7 million views. So it was released, I don't know, it doesn't say when it was released, but I'm sure it was like within 2 or 3 years ago.
The usual.
I think. Always a good start. Very ominous beginning.
Right.
Master.
The captions are like 5 seconds ahead of the voice.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm actually going to take the captions off right now. They're distracting.
Why won't you answer?
It's why won't you answer? So the way that it's presenting, it's like clearly Obi-Wan trying to contact Qui-Gon, I would assume.
Right. Here. And that background probably sounds like a dewback or something. That's natural. I would say it's a dewback rather than an Eopie, but we'll find out.
Is it Eopie, the like Phantom Menace fart one? Is that the
that little camel lizard looking one? Yeah.
Yeah, I just call him the fart camel.
The farting camel.
Yeah, well, because there's the one that literally like looks at Jar Jar and goes or whatever, and that's like, yep, you're the fart camel. Yep.
Yeah, and then he steps in their poop. Yeah.
Yes. Kenobi.
How long are you going to keep this up?
What?
You know, you watching over that boy is more of a threat than anything. Anyone knew you were here?
Okay, so that's basically, if you want to pause there, that's Owen Lars, as you can tell. But the thing is that it's clear that they came to an understanding why they took Luke and why he's protecting. So to me, with him saying, I don't know what you're protecting, are you watching over him is like endangering him, and I don't know why you're here kind of deal. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but that feels kind of off a little bit to me.
And that's exactly what they did in the Kenobi show.
Right.
They pretty much had him be like, he's, well, you want him to be trained like you did his father, and like get out of here, pretty much. Get out of here. We don't need you, basically. And it's like, okay, then what? Y'all accepted the kid, to like raise as a son. We get that. That's cool. And you probably want what's best. You don't want him to be in a battlefield. I get that. But it's like, I don't know. I mean, so the whole point is, like, when we first see Luke on Tatooine, Owen and she's Beru, they don't want him to leave. Basically, they want him to stay on the farm where he's safe and not get involved with any of that stuff. But so I guess people would think, well, how did they get to that point if they took him knowing that Obi-Wan's out there watching him?
There was a little bit of like hard feelings about like being a Jedi in a sense, and what happened with Anakin. Even though Owen didn't know Anakin as much as it feels like they want him to be revealed as knowing him. And, so, and I just don't think that Owen, because he built a relationship with Luke then as a father, doesn't want him to be involved where he puts himself in danger. and that's becoming a Jedi and basically serving the galaxy, what have you. He doesn't, so we have that push and pull, and it was a little bit grazed over in the EU as well on the relationship kind of deal. But they felt that if they knew Obi-Wan was the most wanted. That's a common thing. Tatooine isn't as secluded as people think it is, because you have the major spaceports that do get patrolled sometimes. You have basically the smugglers, the scum, all of them coming in and out. There's a lot of news.
It's Hut territory, so it's
correct.
Yeah, there's entertainment there. There is draw there, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's not where the majority of people would hang out. It's kind of their point, It's like precisely spaceport. Most scum and villainy come here all the time.
Correct. And I think Owen was afraid of Luke's legacy and the father's legacy and what happened and stuff. But when you look at the OT, A New Hope, and Luke's like, I want to go in as a pilot, blah blah blah. Even though Owen's like, well, I need you for one more year, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't really, he's stopping him from leaving Tatooine. I get it. He doesn't want him to put himself in harm's way. And if he goes and trains with Ben, then he's putting himself for the greater good, but in harm's way and stuff like that. And so there's a little bit of that nuance there, but I think sometimes this is over exaggerated. Yeah. This one especially, not the one and I'll say this, not the one in the Kenobi show, Obi-Wan Kenobi show. There's a little bit of that push and pull of like being afraid of Luke taking action and becoming a Jedi, and that's why he talked with Obi-Wan the way he did. I still thought it was kind of over, like, exaggerated, but this one right here is more to, like, I think is over, very very over exaggerated. But that's my opinion. Some people will not, of course, agree with me. But I think a lot of this was a lot of nuanced and, like, Owen being afraid, seeing him as his son, knowing that if he becomes a Jedi, then he's going to put himself out for the greater good and in harm's way, and he doesn't want that for him.
Yeah, I guess my thing was like, did Obi-Wan know, I'm going to wait until Luke is, how old is he in A New Hope?
He's not 18, or he's like 19, because it's like 19 years from his birth.
Yeah, he's 19. So yeah, he waits till he's 19. But he also waits till a specific point where he's in danger, and then he takes him up to train him. So it's like,
yeah,
he was purposefully here the whole time, waiting to train him. So it's like, was it the plan to wait till he's a certain age to train him? Or because the way they keep on depicting it in Kenobi, and again, like right here, is like, yeah, I'm around, and any day now. I don't know.
Well, it was when the time is right. So they had to put their faith into, like, when things call. Well, that was the call to action. When you look at the hero's journey, when the plans got to him, or got sent off down to Tatooine, and the droids came to him, that was this call to action. That's when what they were waiting for, in a sense, that call to action to when they start training. So there was really no, like, set desired age. In fact, if you read the Revenge of the Sith novelization, Obi-Wan's like, we'll train him from birth, and then Yoda goes, no, we're gonna go ahead and wait for the time is right. So basically he's recognizing that Yoda's recognizing some of the faults of the Jedi from the past, and that he's realizing that they can train from any age when the time is right, basically. And so that kind of harkens into that. There's a lot more, detail that goes into what Yoda thinks about what needs to change with the Jedi Order. But it also harkens back to the OT on the age that they start training Luke. Leia gets trained a lot older under Luke, and then Saba Sabateen's, tutelage, or, and they take her in. But, we're not necessarily talking about that. I'm just giving an example. So that's why. So they have to come up with some kind of reason to why Ben is not training right away, and then also have that push and pull to why Owen feels what he does towards the crazy hermit.
I kind of feel about it. It wasn't like a genuine Luke should be with his family. It's your parents that are young, like you're a good age to be raising a kid, essentially, and you happen to be related. Cool. That's pretty much how I see it, in a way, I guess.
Yeah,
it's like,
and then when you watch The Sith, Yeah, when you watch Revenge of the Sith, that's kind of what you get. And then now that I'm thinking about that in the Kenobi novel, the reason why he kind of stays away in the background and watching is because Obi-Wan does draw attention because he's a Jedi. So you know, and stuff, even though he's trying not to be a Jedi
People would
in
ask,
full
why are
sight.
you hanging around this farm all the time? Like, why are
Yeah.
you hanging around there all the time? There's just 2 farmers and their son.
It draws too much attention. He'll draw too much attention to him as well. And that's what Owen has seen in the past, or from that, is like, you draw too much attention. We need to protect this boy. I think you need to go, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And so, and Owen being, or not Owen, Ben being respectful, listens, but still keeps an eye on him.
Anyone knew you were here?
You think you're protecting him? You're putting him in danger, Ben. And not just him.
No one knows I'm here.
He's talking so softly.
They may not be able to connect the boy to you, but they could definitely connect you to him. You can't avoid the Empire the rest of your life.
Yeah.
These captions suck.
The Empire doesn't know we're here.
It's like they're way ahead of the dialogue. Actually, there. I was trying to have that up because he's speaking so softly now.
Yeah, and he says they may not connect the boy to you, but they'll connect you to him, because the only ones that know that the
Like,
twins were born were just the 3, and that's Bail, Yoda, and Obi-Wan. There is no, you know, there should be no records left over whatsoever.
I
And
was just gonna say about him with just the Beru, just, you know, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. Like, I thought that's what he was saying,
and then those
not
two
just
there,
the boy.
Yeah,
It's like,
so,
you know, I don't think anybody would be able to connect even that. They'd be like, how, who, what? They're random people. They're random people. They're not. Their last names aren't Skywalker.
No. Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of weird.
Yeah, a little odd there, but yeah, okay. Let's see here.
The Empire doesn't know we're here, and they never will.
You're as foolish as your dead religion. It was just announced that the Empire's on the Outer Rim. The last transport leaves tonight. For Luke's sake, I hope you're on it.
Okay, so Empire's nearby.
All right, so pause that again.
Yeah.
So we don't know exactly Luke's age right here, but I'm guessing because he's not in his home yet. Which, what the hell? I know they're probably going with the novelization of A New Hope, of Ben living in a freaking cave, which was retconned by the movie.
Yeah, so, I keep on getting confused by that because I'm like, I mean, he could live in a hut. Like, he does live in a hut. Why do they keep on putting him in a cave?
Yeah, and then on top of that, you know, like, spacers will talk. Like I said, spacers will talk at the cantina. What's going on? Because they have to avoid the Empire. Now that's a new government, or I guess you could say that they have to avoid
regional governors and stuff.
Yeah. And but that shouldn't really have a threat to Luke being found out when he does. No one even knows he exists.
I mean, I'll say, like, in most of Jamie Costa's stuff, it's shot very well, sounds good, cinematography's good, lingers on shots for not too long, so, but good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really like the contemplation there that he was doing. We didn't see him look too downtrodden. He was like contemplating, okay, what is my next move? He was also thinking about the past, but he didn't look like he was defeated.
Right. He's just like, what's my next move here? So he said last transport to leave is, you know, out here. I don't have my own ship, so you know, I have to take a transport, and or I'm stuck here, and you know, they'll make Owen all pissed off. So what is the plan? Oh shit! Okay, it's right there. That was
Oh,
fast.
of course.
That was
Of
fast.
course. Like, he just barely got the warning, and bam, there's the Star Destroyer right there. Like, and it's like right over where he's at. Like right over,
it's not on the other side of the planet or anything. It's like,
yeah.
I mean, I guess that they were somewhat close to Mos Eisley, but they had to take the speeder away. I mean, I assume it'd be more in the distance than that, even.
Yeah, that looks way too close than it being like more or less by Mos Eisley or even Anchorhead, because like right there, I'm guessing that's the outside of Juneland Waste area where the canyons start. You know, I don't have the map in front of me. There are
It
maps,
seems like it's not where the population is, where the ship would go to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
and it's customary for the Empire to really, you know, post down their rule and, you know, threaten the people by being dramatic and stuff like that. And, you know, and so unless they're driving by overhead, but that's kind of low too, but you never know.
they're literally in the atmosphere. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. What the heck? That's where Jake Skywalker got it from. What the hell? I can understand being mad at this whole situation and stuff, but I also understand that, you know, through his son, that there's hope, and that lightsaber, you know, he told Luke, you know, your father wanted to, you know, have this passed down to you or whatever. Even though that was kind of a fib, you know, but because we never seen that. But anyways, why would he be throwing that? I mean, I don't know.
Well, we know he gets it back, but it's like, yeah, it's weird. All right, Tusken just saw him throw a lightsaber, so you got to kill this bastard, right? That's what.
Yep.
I would assume. Well, let's see what they do here, I guess. All right.
Okay, so
if he's just gonna have it come back to him, that'd be funny. It's like, all right,
that's what it looks like. But then, where is his lightsaber? Shouldn't it be strapped on his belt to his left so he can ignite it without?
Yes. What the fuck was the point of that?
Sorry, where is his freaking lightsaber? It should be attached to his belt underneath his robe.
I kind of thought he was gonna do like a force, just kill him like that. It'd be like, yeah, kind of like a dark move, but you know, he's trying to not leave signs of, you know, a lightsaber. Yeah. I would think, yeah. You know, especially with the Empire coming around.
Exactly, but again, where is his friggin' lightsaber? What? I understand.
I feel like they don't like to use it. I guess I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they're waiting for a dramatic moment to ignite one, but we'll see here.
But that's a dramatic moment.
Yeah, you're right, but you know, we'll see. All right, his ass just got knocked out. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Why is a mouse cleaning droid out there? Oh, that's must be their part of their farm then? One of their evaporators? But why would the mouse droid be out there in the sand cleaning sand?
I don't know. Make it look clean. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, I just noticed that. That's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, what? But it looks like one of their evaporators from their farm.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
guessing. So, the droid's working on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Droid, no, I need you to scan this. No, you're incorrect. Scan it again.
Luke, can you help me find something? Owen.
troop transport. Stormtroopers.
Hide the boy.
So there's stormtroopers walking around near their area.
Of course, because he just went and told Ben, and now all of a sudden they have him walking around by their farm and stuff. Which again, even if they asked them their names, they could have said Luke, Lars, or whatever, and they wouldn't have known because there's no link to Luke to Vader whatsoever. No one knows about that.
Yeah, but I mean, I could get their fear of it, I guess. I mean, in their head, they don't know, like, what could they possibly have done to come over here and find us? But they are over here. I don't know. All right, anything could happen. I assume they're very detached from any of the goings on in the galaxy, like just totally detached. So
the thing I could think about, and like I said, we can only just assume, elaborate, or whatever, that when Obi-Wan took Luke to them, part of their conversation was like, he was born in secrecy, no one knows about him, that's why I'm hiding him out, blah blah blah, not even the Empire. You would think that there had been some kind of understanding, but I get what you're saying too, is that they're panicking a little bit because they just don't want attention drawn to them whatsoever. Even though
the stormtroopers might be here for an entirely different reason, not even looking for them specifically. Maybe, for all we know, they're just chasing some other fugitive. I have no idea.
And in the history, basically, no one knows Anakin is Vader, so that's not known. Only the ones that absolutely need to know. And then if you don't count Disney Star Wars bullshit, but anyways, and then so the basic stormtrooper, maybe some 501st, but the basic stormtrooper wouldn't even care less about a child.
I assume like the only one that would in the Empire, maybe Tarkin, maybe, but even that I don't even know. Like,
well, with him knowing, but like knowing that, like, a lot of people didn't even know, except for Palpatine, knew that, and then Obi-Wan and whoever needed to know knew that Padme was carrying Anakin's child as well, because they kept it a secret. So that was less.
Yeah,
that was a
you can count them on your hand how many people know about it. So.
Right, exactly. So there's no way that like they should be suspecting anything. But again, like the Lars can be panicking, and I get that, but still there'd be still an understanding to that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
It's a bit nippy. Music's nice and intense. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we got our squad walking up entirely. Okay. With purpose. I'm glad they got a, sanded out stormtrooper a bit. And in fan films, they're always very clean, like the guys back here. But like, there's at least one that's like, I've been here for a little bit, so I'm dirty. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Small detail.
Owen and Peru. Greetings on behalf of the Empire.
Okay, the way it's presented is very weird with this, I guess. That they're like, because it's almost like kind of thing of, well, they're fucked now, right? Like, why again, farmers on Tatooine, if it's not related to Luke, why are they over here? Or Kenobi? Why? It might be a Kenobi thing. Like, there might have been but even if they got Kenobi on Tatooine, then it's still fucked because that's where he is. And
it blows his cover, which means
where he was in the OT, and they seem to have no idea there was a Jedi on Tatooine. So
right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. It's just Owen and I.
Just the two of you? You farm this land all alone? That seems a bit much.
It is, but it keeps us busy. A lot of late nights.
I understand.
What is the point of all of this? A census? I've never had that before.
It's for your own protection, I assure you. It's important to know who's coming and who's going.
We don't need an emperor out here. We're doing just fine.
Careful.
I mean, wouldn't the Empire technically have to like talk to the Hutts first or some shit? Like,
there's agreement between them. Like this, Tatooine's not necessarily in Hutt territory, although you have Jabba the Hutt that does basically, I would say, govern, I guess you could say, Tatooine. And in the original lore, there's some agreement, understanding, and under the table kind of understanding, I guess you can say. There is a small garrison that was established. It used to be the Old Republic's little garrison, and then once, like, if you read the Kenobi novel, I believe, either that one or the Dark Lord Rise of Darth Vader, they go ahead and take, it's the Kenobi novel. They the Empire goes in and inspects the Old Republic's garrison little facility there and takes over on that. So there is a small little garrison of stormtroopers, which that's why I say this reaction of theirs too doesn't really make sense, because that garrison is in Mos Eisley, I believe, and they're so Owen and Beru with Luke will walk around and see stormtroopers. There's a scene in there where Obi-Wan kind of hides because he sees the stormtroopers, and he's still keeping an eye on the Lars and stuff. He sees them, and he's with his friend Annalene, and they're at a cafe. I think that's not Mos Eisley. I think it's maybe it's Mos Eisley or whatever. But anyways, people correct me in the comments below. But anyways, so they have stormtroopers that walk around, and the Lars are cool and calm, and they're carrying Luke with them too. So I mean,
which would be how you should act when in general that's the new governing force now, and you're trying to keep secret. So try to not act any suspicious. So if anything, be chummy with them. Hey, what's up? Nice, cool, awesome. Yeah, wouldn't be on your radar. Nice.
Yeah, and I guess it's a little bit nitpick here with this, but moisturizer or the evaporator forms that you have on Tatooine. You can have higher hands, and then you can also have droids. And so that's also established in the OT. So if you don't have your higher hands, you have your droids. Some are bigger than the others. And so that all depends on your manpower and if you're successful or not with the moisture farm.
Yeah. I guess if anything, I'd be surprised that any officer understands how moisture farms work. It'd be like, how often do you come across that in your in your stuff? So
correct.
I don't know.
Yeah. So let's see what.
We don't need your protection.
Of course you don't. Until you do.
Sir, found something.
Don't shoot, he's just a child.
Now, I thought you said it was just the two of you. Who is he?
He's
Let's see some identification.
You don't need to see their identification.
Oh boy.
Hello there.
Yeah, man. It seems just repeating lines are very cringe these days. I don't know. It's not their fault. It's not their fault, but man, I get very annoyed when I see that in TV shows these days or movies. They say a line, I'll be back. Say it in another movie. Say that again.
Yeah, let's recall the member berry lines. Let's just recall
people don't talk that way, and it's less cool in action stuff or anything when you just say the same lines again. It's just like,
right,
you said the line that you said before.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to point out the obvious here. All right, so if they would not have hidden Luke and just reported the three of them,
had him as a boy just playing on the farm, whatever.
Yeah, then they wouldn't even know who he is, right? And then they should have no reason. There should be no inkling, no suspicion, like I said, because
just like he's your son, he's their kid, essentially.
Yeah.
Just have him be your kid, and it's as simple as that.
Right. And now they hit him, so this brings drama here for Obi-Wan to come and respond. So let's go ahead.
I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed here. I really kind of was thinking this fan film would be a little more creative than that. A little bit. Yeah. This is very low tier story-wise.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Hello there. Who are you?
I'm the boy's uncle. Ran off on me again. Getting too big for me to keep up with.
What of his parents?
I don't understand why it's like parents can be dead or something, or can be gone. Kids can be orphaned.
Yeah.
That's how this is presented to me. It's like,
what of his parents?
He just said that he's getting too big for me to keep track of. That kind of means he's taking care of them. And he could just say his parents are dead, or I don't know. Or to say, oh, they're right there, but I watch over the kid. They're their farm. I don't know. Yeah. Big enough, he'll help him on the farm. I don't know. Well, plenty of lines you could do here. This is created for dramatic tension, and it's just non-dramatic scene, but they're treating it like it is, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, oh, I'm doing something. What are you doing? Something else. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yep.
Dead, I'm afraid. Some time now.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
Not likely.
Where are you from?
Well, just passing through.
Oh, you're very good at avoiding questions. Search him.
Of course. He made himself so vulnerable right there by not complying, so he can get searched, so they can reveal the lightsaber.
Man, the other stuff I've seen Jamie in, man, he's been killing it. This is his worst performance in writing. I don't know if he writes these or somebody else does, but like, wow, this is really lame. This is like, it's like first draft type of situations, and then why are they here? What can you make to make things dramatic, or all these things? And they're just not really doing that.
Wasn't that in a Pazaak game?
Not likely.
I don't know. That'd be pretty likely in this universe now, with Jedi not being around as much and whatever. I mean, it's the kind of thing where he'd go, "Prove to me you're not a Jedi." How do I do that exactly? Don't use the Force. All right. Or use the Force. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But the thing too is, like, even though like lightsabers and all that probably have been like outlawed, I guess you could say.
Well, they're an item of interest, if anything. Like,
right.
Again,
that's what I say. They're collectible for people who want those kind of things, or even the kyber crystal and stuff. I think in the Disney lore, they compensated a lot of lightsabers, whatever they found, even on the market, and went ahead and took the kyber crystals and stuff. And that's what I've gotten into when I did some of the research behind the lightsabers and what was going on during that time and in the Disney lore. And so it wouldn't be unlikely for someone to have done that, like at a game here on Tatooine, because this basically is a lawless planet.
That's what I was going to say. Well, I mean, like, Qui-Gon bet a ship on a pod race. This is a thing that I could see happening where you won a lightsaber. I don't know. Yeah.
We can go about our business. We have no concern you.
Come again.
We are of no concern to you.
Well, now y'all are fucked because you just eliminated a high-ranking officer on your farm, and man, this is an energy killer, man. I was really hoping this was gonna be like a cool fan film. This is not high tier anymore. Still looks great, but not. It isn't great though. That's This is Kenobi show level bad. This is on par with that. This is that bad. Wow.
They wanted to put Luke in danger. They wanted to have that heightened, drama factor and show Kenobi basically protecting. They wanted to get the Empire involved, which, they could have done this with Tuscans.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that. I mean, they could have it be where they're out grocery shopping or whatever at the place or getting parts, and Luke runs off a little bit somewhere, and some little rough and toughers or something, start pushing him around or something, and it's like, oh shit, he's getting beat up. Oh no, and he wandered off a little bit or something, or he got stuck somewhere, and I don't know. You can create a little drama with stuff, and have concern.
Yeah, you don't need the Empire involved for the drama that you need. It could be simple as like the goings on Tatooine with like you said, like rough and tough, smugglers, or other people. Like there's other different ways. There's different scenarios you can cause this kind of dramatic without compromising and having to try to write yourself out of that corner.
Jawas could kidnap him or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Tuscans, because that's the main thing. The main story during that time, especially for the moisture farmers, is the Tuscan Raiders, because they don't like settlers. They believe that's blasphemy to be farming water out of the air. All of that.
Yeah. You could even have other people from other planets that are like on the run from the Empire or something, and they try to hide out on the farm. And it's like tension filled of like the family's at risk, and should Obi-Wan act now, or the Empire so close? Like, do you maybe tip the Empire to save the family, to save this farm because they're that's where the bad guys are, or what? Like, what do you do? Like, that could be something interesting. There's a lot of stuff you can do here, but they keep on doing these like pathetic attempts to me. These just this isn't interesting here. This interferes so much with what was set. So this kind of event is like it's supposed to be mostly uneventful for them, but they keep on having the drama like right here.
Yeah,
it's like that's not where it would be if it is.
So on the nose,
right here. Yeah, look at it. Luke seemed like he was bored as hell with his life. He's like, fuck, nothing to do. Like nothing fun happens. That was it.
Yeah.
Anyway. He caught it. I love the guy. I love the look on that guy's face. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's like, what?
The look on his face is excellent. I love this actor.
Yeah.
He looks like a villain easily, but
yeah, how he presented himself, his stature, everything. So he really did a great job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so he's slapping him.
Stop it. No.
Stop him. And he's like still reaching out. I still got this. So
punch him in the gut, punch his face, beat the shit out of Obi-Wan while he's doing this. I mean,
yeah, so he doesn't have that concentration anymore. Just sock him in his stomach or whatever.
I want at least one fan film, because I know the real one's not going to do this. Have one fan film where like stormtroopers are at least seen as somewhat competent soldiers, a little bit.
That stupid friggin' meme that
like they at least react a little smart. Like, you're Jedi, something, bop them in the face. React like a soldier reacts, not, oh, hey, you are a, something. I don't know. Just, all right. I just power through this puppy. This is... Again, I also feel stakeless because they're not supposed to die. So, Okay, all right. Somehow y'all get out of this nice and clear when you shouldn't, based on what it is now. So
yeah,
great.
they're just dip them in back to that's it. That you go.
Yeah,
That's
you're just all fucked now. But nope, you'll somehow let's see what they do.
Okay.
What?
No, I said, oh, Wilhelm.
Yeah, Wilhelm. Yeah, that was a quickie one.
Yeah.
Didn't linger on it. Sand. Pocket sand. I don't know if they did that as a meme or not. I don't know, but that's what comes to my mind.
Yeah, Anakin.
Yeah. Stormtrooper, just shoot him. Just shoot him. Just shoot him. Don't say stop it, freeze, stop it. Just shoot him.
Just shoot him. But what I'm going to get at right here, I know it's a fan film, but still, you still want to be accurate to the movies. You know, who cares? You know, fan films, at least stay accurate to the movies. Luke has never seen a lightsaber ignited.
Yeah. He should be like passed out, not here.
Yeah, so at least stay accurate to the movies. At least. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that'd be good. Luke should be going, I want to be a Jedi too now, like Anakin wanted to. You know? That's what this kind of would sound like, but no. He's not supposed to have ever seen anything like this.
Right.
He saw the Force in action. He saw the lightsaber in action.
The Force? He's like, he even kind of questions, like, he heard of Jedi, but not necessarily the Force, you know, and, you know, so that was still something relatively new to him. And I would believe that, you know, Owen did keep some story away from him, especially after telling him that his father was a navigator on a spice freight, basically.
Yeah.
You know, so you would think that how is he going to forget all this now? I mean, he's little, maybe he could, but usually when you're little and you see something significant like this,
these are one of those memories that kind of stick a little with you.
Yeah, exactly. There's some sticking points to this. Yeah.
Especially when people get killed in front of you as well. That's not exactly that forgettable.
Right.
Is everyone all right?
He'll be all right. We just need to get him home.
It'll heal by New Hope. It's okay.
Are you all right?
That's more in front of him. Look at that.
Ben. Thank you.
Of course.
This is supposed to be a sweet moment, I guess, but I'm not feeling it at all. I'm not feeling it at all. This was not presented well.
What I'm going to say is that they're trying to make Beru look like she's the compassionate, because we really see her as compassionate, like, you know, and trying to be understanding, you know, by the time we get to A New Hope. So they're probably reflecting on that with her. There's that gaze between him and Owen, which kind of like, he's like, from what I got, he was like, okay, you need to get out of here. Kind of that's the kind of gaze that I seen that Owen gave Ben. Or Obi-Wan.
Yeah, you should leave. Just like how if you didn't get here, the way that we handled it was so great before you arrived, you know.
Right.
Excellent. Right. We'd have been totally fine without you.
Yeah.
May the Force be with you.
Okay.
You're going to report back that your men were caught in a fight with Sand People. That the records of this area are up to date. and that there's no interest here.
That's such a Disney move in a way. Of like, this event happened here that is totally fucked everything, but it's nippy-doo. It's okay.
Yeah, so
You know, we only kidnapped Leia's daughter to, you know, draw at Obi-Wan, and it worked successfully, which proves that Bail is connected to Obi-Wan and all that. But we'll just ignore that entirely going forward. This is kind of what that is
right
here. It is that moment kind of thing. And we just slaughtered a whole little, you know, high-ranking officer and your whole little squad over here and everything on this farm on Tatooine, where Vader's from, and all records are totally just clear now, totally fine.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, your commander, your commander, and all of them are gone, but you're the surviving one. But everything's okay.
I feel like the Empire would retaliate a little bit to like, you know, to make, even if the Tusken, they go, oh, these fuckers, what? These native people aren't listening to us now, and they killed our men. Guess we should enforce ourselves. What are they doing? Yeah, make them think twice before they attack us or something.
Yeah,
but nope.
No fight with Sam people. Our records are up to date. There is no interest here.
Now move along.
I would think that having a squad of your people killed is of interest. Right? Like if we had Marines go to freaking Canada and then, oh yeah, they're just, most of them got killed by some bears or something. Be like, really?
Yeah.
Marines got killed by some bears.
Yeah.
Or elite got killed by
Tuskens.
Right.
And you have
we have blasters. They don't have.
Yeah,
we have armor and
stuff. Then Tusken. Yes.
Yeah. Huh. Only you survived. How'd you get away again? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. They outnumbered you.
They did a Reva. He hid under bodies.
Yeah. Yeah. Played dead. Yeah.
That's the way to get yourself out of that.
Yeah.
And that you won't be needing your blaster.
I won't be needing my blaster.
Is that the Force Awakens joke now? Like, this was made after the Force Awakens. Like,
probably. I don't know. It's just like, I understand that, you know, he couldn't, you know, mind trick their officer, right? Because he has a strong-willed mind. And that's what we established with the mind trick stuff. But you would think this commanding officer right here wouldn't be able to succumb to mind trick too, because he is a commanding officer of his garrison.
Well, even then, I mean, whatever. I guess I can get over it, but it's just like, you also had him drop his blaster. I don't see the point of that.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's a callback to that.
It's just it's just a meme, I guess. Which memes are fine sometimes, but man, I'm getting so annoyed with that kind of stuff being in things. It's like that's making it worse now. The more Easter eggs and the more callbacks is making it worse now. It's not fun.
Yeah,
not fun.
I agree.
You know, a lot of people praise this fan film. Like, even in our sector of the internet, like, really like this fan film. I wonder what about it was liked, because take away visuals, take away the cinematography, a little bit of the acting's fine. I like that one actor of the officer.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've seen so much better stories from fan films with extremely less production. This was disappointing. And this guy has been in neat stuff. With creative ideas.
Yeah.
This was really low tier.
I remember watching a portion of this, and I was like, even before like I even knew about Kenobi coming out and stuff, the series, and I had to turn it off. I was like, where are they going with this? There should be no reason why the Empire should be out there. There's no reason they gave to why they were looking.
They're just fucking around. I don't know. They're just wandering over there for no reason.
Yeah, so it was kind of like a pointless thing only for drama. And so I was like,
almost 20 minutes long. This was a long time to establish stuff.
And I could see that people like this because they wanted to see Kenobi in action again. But as we stated before, this could be a whole different scenario that doesn't include the Empire whatsoever. There's so many scenarios. It could be from the Hutts, it could be from the Tuskens, it could be from smugglers, it could be from some of the minions from
There's a
the
lot
Hutts.
of things. There's a lot of things in the universe you could make
Mhm.
an
Even
issue
on
for.
Tatooine, you know, even on Tatooine, you know, like from because it's such a the planet is basically a spaceport, if you say so. So any major cities, which are like 3 or 4, they're all space ports. So
Yeah.
you have a lot of spacers coming to and from, and then you also have the Hutts, and then you also have, you know, other little crime syndicates that come in and through and what have you. You also have other moisture farmers against other moisture farmers. That could be a scenario too. The Tuskens against the moisture farmers, as established in Kenobi. There's so many, and even in the Attack of the Clones, that was established of the Tuskens against the moisture farmers. And there's a lot more, and it could still put Obi-Wan in action, but not compromise them with the Empire. Because then it leaves this what if. And I think that's another reason why they liked the Kenobi series, is because of how this is. Kenobi went back into action. He actually left Tatooine, which he's not supposed to really. And they put him in the sights of the Empire. I guess they're one of their syndicates, the Inquisitors.
Yeah.
And so that brought drama in. People wanted to see him in action. People think that Kenobi can only have action when it comes to the Empire. No. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. There's so much in the Star Wars universe to pull from, which is like we've seen that explored in other fan films a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's just, man, it's, with the high budget ones, it's disappointing how safe it is, I guess. They almost film it like as if they would want it to fit with current Star Wars.
Yeah.
But the current Star Wars isn't good. So it's like, oh man, this could have been an episode in the Kenobi show and would fit right in perfectly. Like that's not good.
Yeah, just imagine instead of the Empire, it was Tuskens. Like he got knocked down by Tuskens, and he's not too far away, really, because he got there so quickly.
Yeah, so the Tuskens just knocked him out for no reason. Just hey, whatever. And they didn't even take anything off of him or
just
do
to
anything.
make the
They just wanted to hit him in the face. I don't know.
It was all for the danger factor for the Lars, so the Empire can kind of walk up on them. It could have been the Tuskens. It could have been part of that tribe. So with my opinion on this, like I said, it could have been done way better. There could have been different opposing threats other than the standard Empire, just to make it more climatic and more suspenseful. Yeah, so I'm disappointed in this. It kind of falls in line with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which I think that their direction that they took breaks continuity, breaks lore, hurts the movies, both
hurts the characters. It treats the characters really stupid.
Yeah, and I like some of the stuff they try to make sure that Obi-Wan or Ben knew what he needed to do, but like I said, it didn't have to be with the Empire, any Imperial officers or whatever. There was no reason for them to be there. They didn't even say, "Oh, well, we're just going to make sure you're okay." But there was no really valid reason them going down. And mind you, maybe they don't need it, but still, there's no reason. Why did they know the Lars? Like, why did they know him?
Yeah, I have no idea. But you could have had another one where maybe it's Luke's a little bit older, like 14 or something, and it's like his friends are doing something at the spaceport and like I don't know, steal something, and he's around, but he's like, what if you guys stole something from there? And they go, oh, let's hide out on your farm. Nobody come out here. Oh, they come out there, and I don't know, you have something there. Just like that's like, oh, it's where Luke's involved, but he's not doing much. Obi-Wan has to come in some way and deal with this. And again, I think it'd be okay to not have his lightsaber sometimes. Like, I assume that he would have other methods to deal with people than the Force and a lightsaber. You think he'd have other skills? Like
from what I read inside the lore that was provided about Obi-Wan in the true Star Wars. He always kept his lightsaber on him. Like it was always hidden on the left side of him on his belt and, covered up. So he always had that on him somehow. And so, and he always, if he could, he would draw upon it, but wouldn't be in an obvious way either. So it's very neat how John Jackson Miller wrote that. I would highly recommend that novel, or the audiobook is also unabridged, so you get the whole story. And so it's not plot heavy and you're not missing out any scenes. Yeah, so, but he always kept it on him. So that was kind of weird to me, to him not having it on him, but then he's carrying around Anakin's in sorrow and then wants to throw it. And yeah, so that
was so pointless. I'm going to throw it and also use it to come right back. And then that also, it just, none of that made any sense. And it's like, yeah, I guess that's what happened. I would really, I almost want to see, because I'm sure that other people in our sphere did like reviews on it or reactions. And it's like, I wonder what they thought, because wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we're bummers to people right now, because you and I did not like the reimagining one. We didn't like this one, and you know, I'm not like you're more into the lore than I am, but it's like I'm just in general with the movies, and you know, I like continuity. I like things to make sense, and when I see it totally not make sense, it bugs me. The prequels do that a little bit, like just small things, like with just based on words they say in the OT that don't entirely follow up, like Leia remembering her mom, or Obi-Wan being trained by Yoda entirely. Just a couple things like that, and you know, those are more forgivable. Those aren't as, you know, obvious, like, you know, things to fuck up. These are like, well, you clearly fucked up now. What is this now? This is like, you're done. Well, what'd you do? But no, it's fine. At the end,
we're done. Yeah. And Luke knows what the Force is. He knows what, you know, of course he knew what Jedi were, but he didn't know the Force really. And he didn't know a lightsaber either. So like I said, if you're gonna do a fan film, at least, you know, keep continuity with the movies. You don't have to worry about the EU or anything like that. Just be knowledgeable of what's presented in the movie, so that, you know, you can kind of honor that.
Yeah. Portray characters as like smart. It'd be nice sometimes. And stormtroopers to one day be seen as a soldier that isn't just an idiot. Like, have one stormtrooper at least out of the bunch, you know. The rest are fodder, and then there's one that's like, you know, putting up a fight of some kind or doing smart things. Like, that'd be nice. Just something. Just make their, because again, you just I know, like, in all the Star Wars and all the main stuff in the like TV shows and movies, most of them are retarded. And it's even in the OT, I know, but in the first one, it made sense. And Empire they were pretty good for the most part, I'd say. They're pretty good. And in Return of the Jedi, it was silly. But
I think it was just made silly. And Return of the Jedi is my favorite out of the whole 6 out of the movies. They weren't prepared. I'm going to compare this to our reality in a sense. You know, like when my people fought against the budding colony of America, and they were sending their 7th Cavalry out and all this stuff like that, they weren't used to what do you call it, guerrilla style fighting. They were very formal and stuff like that. And that's how I seen the primitive little Ewoks. They didn't fight conventional way. They weren't prepared for that. You would think that maybe they would be, since they deal with different species throughout the whole galaxy.
I'm fine with the guerrilla warfare aspect, and you know, some of that stuff. It just, the way it's presented is that rock hit helmet and
now he's
stick hit armor and and it's like, oof, you know, if it was more like, you know, somehow they're able to get good neck shots in or something, or you can take the helmets off and kill them. Something, just little things like that might have improved it. I know that there were supposed to be Wookiees at first, I think, in one of the drafts, and doing that, and I feel like that would have made a little more sense if it was a Wookiee with like hitting you with a stick with the armor on. That might clock you enough. An Ewok though. I'm a little skeptical on that.
I get what you're saying too, because some of the good tactics were good, but like the ones where there's still rocks and knock them out.
Yeah, well, it's like when they, like, you know, have the walkers, like mostly the chicken walker stuff was more fine with me, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know if 2 logs would actually just go, oh, it's fine, or the way it blows up is like, oh, is that what it takes? How much force was really on that in a way? But that's getting more technical. But again, those are the main. I feel like the main. Even though I don't agree with that plot wise, the emotion was still able to be there, and it was still chaotic and a lot of stuff going on. The characters were struggling a whole bunch along the way, and for the most part, doing things that make sense.
Correct. Yeah.
For the most part, I still feel like some of it could have been tighter. Is all. Like, you know, some of it's a little loose. Like they're not really in any cover, but they're like avoiding blaster fire, sort of. It's kind of like, I don't know, maybe they had something else there. Like, you know, if a chicken walker thing fell over near them, they have cover.
I love how you say
things
chicken
like that.
walker, the ATST, but the chicken walker.
I don't know what else to call it. Okay, I just remember, all I remember is in Battlefront, they called it a chicken walker. One of the guys did, and that stuck with me. And I'm like, it's a chicken walker.
I know that. It just makes me laugh every time I hear that. Like, even when it referred to as that, it's like, I get it too. But yeah,
I love it if that's what they really called it in the thing. Oh, my chicken walker's not working. No, come on. Something that'd be great.
Yeah, but thank you again for having me on and going through this. I think this kind of goes in tandem with the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. You know,
yeah, this would fit perfectly. That's not a compliment.
Not necessarily, but if there's fans that don't agree with us, you know, I'm pretty sure we're going to see it in the comments below, and that's fine. You know, we all have our interests, you know, and no matter, and in our level of knowledge within the Star Wars galaxy, the universe that was created under George Lucas, and you know, so we'll make our decisions on, you know, what we like and don't like, and that's fine. I respect that. But when you look at scenarios of like the lightsaber being shown and the Empire coming and acting like they know exactly who the Lars are and maybe Luke and stuff, that's not believable. That takes you out because you know that they don't know. It's already been established.
It's like you might as well have, you know, Gungans have their settlement on Tatooine or something, and you'd just be like, well, why not? It's like,
why not?
I don't know. Yeah, might as well. You know, what are you doing so far? Makes sense. Sure, why not? No, we're not trying to make sense here. We're just having it happen. Is what it comes off as. But anyway, we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you later.